Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. It has been a hot minute since we've done like a fun video. So today we are going to unbox a little tarot haul. Oh yeah, I may have gotten some decks that got delivered today, which I'm pretty excited about. So also I do have one that I got a couple days ago, so I will include that in this as well. But let's first go with the Amazon order. So I'm gonna move this off to the side actually. I'm gonna move it off to the side. Hopefully you can still see. So we first have the Fairy Tale Oracle by Lucy Cavendish and artwork by Jasmine Beckett Griffith. Curious Messages of Enchantment Forest Fae. And lastly in the box here we have the Fairies Oracle by Brian Froud, text by Jessica Macbeth. So those were the three that just came in the mail today. And I also got Oracle of the Seven Energies by Colette Baron Reid a couple of days ago. So let's just kind of quickly pop these open and take a quick little peek together. So because this is how my mind works, you guys. I didn't realize until after the fact that I actually got like 3 fairy themed oracle decks in the same order. I was just like, let's see. I saw this one, it looked cute. I was like, oh great. The Fairy Tale Oracle here has been on my list for a very, very long time. And really, as for the Fairies Oracle, you guys, I don't know. I always saw it in the bookstores back when I lived in Canada, and I was like, who would get that? Like I have no interest in it. And then it was like calling to me and I couldn't help myself. I had to order it. It was like a weird compulsion. So, and then after, of course, I made the order and started looking back and I went, hey, those are 3 Fae themes. So clearly the Fae are trying to work with me. So first of all, we have Curious Messages of Enchantment Forest Fae mini deck here. Has a little how to use the cards. It just says sit quiet and breathe deeply, shuffle the deck while thinking of a question, or just ask the Fae for guidance. Choose a card at random and discover what messages the Forest Fae have for you. Perhaps the answers will be clear, or maybe they will ask questions. They will ask more questions before they answer. Such is the way of the Fae. Oh my god, are these backings not the sweetest things? I don't know if you can see that, but it is so cute. They're kind of glossy, but I'm loving these backs. Oh my gosh, they're darling. Oh my god, they're so fucking cute. So we have the Soothsayer, travel the road seldom taken, to the greenwood, seek comfort and acceptance, be kind to yourself. The old one, the ancestors call, seek their wisdom. These are beautiful. The witch hare, cross the threshold, leap the badge, go over the wall. So very, very cool. I'm excited to explore with these for sure. Like I said, I'm just gonna do a quick one. Quick little look at some of these. I can always do a full review later. Let me know in the comments if you want a full review of any of these decks. Thank God for my handy, trusty seam ripper here. Oops, I did not mean to shake the camera. That is like the greatest thing ever. There we go. So now we have the Fairy Tale Oracle by Lucy Cavendish. Good little typical, I think this is Blue Angel, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Typical Blue Angel box 44 cards and guidebook set. You are holding a great treasure, overflowing with life-changing magic, grounded in the epic tradition and timeless wisdom of fairy tales. Fairy, of course, F-A-E-R-Y. This oracle reveals the meanings and lessons behind stories like The Little Match Girl, Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella, and Hansel and Gretel. This magical deck will introduce to you undiscovered gems, earthling tales of unsurpassed imagination, to advise, inspire, and delight you. Every beautiful card offers trustworthy, compassionate, and uplifting guidance to help you navigate life's every peril, every promise, every enchantment. So, I have pretty much, I think this might be the last Lucy and Jasmine deck that I do not own. So, I finally caved and got that. There we go. I'm telling you guys, game changer over here. So these are the backs. They are a little bit shiny. That's typical. My Alice the Wonderland deck I have actually is matte, and I much prefer that. But these backs are pretty. I'm liking the colors. But first, let's take a little peek at the guidebook here. Oh, that's kind of chunky. Okay, definitely hefty. So this is our first time looking at this together, you guys. I've never seen it before. Okay. So we have an introduction. We have the table of contents here. Path Through the Woods, your guide to working with the Fairy Tale Oracle. So it's got a bit of an introduction, talks about the fairy tales, about fairy tales in general. Your guidebook, read it and take it to heart. How to work with the Fairy Tale Oracle. Like, there's quite the, talks about shuffling, cutting cards, versals, caring for your cards and their energy. Like, there's a lot of information in here. There's spreads. Talks about asking about certain individuals. And then we get into the card messages. So, kind of talks, you'll get a black and white depiction, you'll get the card name, a keyword, looks like a quote from the fairy tale, and it talks about the themes, what the fairy tale is, and it goes into the meanings here. Nice. So there's quite a lot of information here for every card. The same thing, talks of, like, it's got a the depiction, the keyword, a quote from the fairy tale, the theme, the fairy tale itself, and then the meaning. So there is a lot here. Like I said, this sucker is chunky as all hell. So, and then of course, artist and author at the back here. So I'm excited to dive into this. Lucy's information is always quite interesting. So let's just look at a couple of the cards here. So we start with Snow White, Purity. They're still kind of sticking together. We have Rapunzel, Liberation. I can see that. These are pretty. The borders, it does have borders, but you know what? They're not, I don't hate them like I normally do. Princess and the Pea, Sensitivity. Oh, we broke them up. We have Hansel, Survival, Gretel, Ingenuity. I can never say that word right. Ingenuity. Lordy, you guys. But yeah, they are stuck together. If you'll notice though, there's a couple of her, Jasmine's artwork decks like this. You can see there's sort of the older style and the newer style of artwork. So there is a little bit of lack of cohesiveness in the art, if that bothers you. In her decks, they don't really distract me that much because I usually only pull one card at a time. So it doesn't really bother me. But we have Little Mermaid. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. Puss in Boots. Yeah, Goldilocks. So we will look at those more maybe in a later video. Again, let me know if you want a full flip through, walk through what we think of these. We're just quickly taking a peek here. I'm excited to dive into that one. It's based on like non-Disney versions of the fairy tales, so the more darker, like Brothers Grimm type depictions. So I'm very curious to dive into that. So now we have the Fairies Oracle. Trying very hard not to shake the camera, and I'm failing miserably here. Okay, so from the creator of the best-selling Good Fairies, Bad Fairies, I believe that was a book. So working with the fairies to find insight, wisdom, and joy. It's a big fucking box. So we have at the back here, using the enchanted art of Brian Froud as your guide, enter into the wise and wonderful world of the fairies. The Fairies Oracle calls on sylphs, pans, gnomes, and of course fairies to lead you on a delightful journey of adventure, discovery, and enlightenment that will illuminate the future and heal the heart and soul. This beautifully designed divination set contains everything you will need to explore this mysterious realm. So let's dive into it here. Oh gosh. There we go. So, kind of a flimsy, squishy box, not gonna lie. Ooh, but nice. Okay, so we have a nice hardcover guidebook here. Nice. And then I'm gonna just recycle this box. What a waste. Okay, sorry. But we just have a little plastic. Doesn't seem to have damaged the cards, which I appreciate. I'm just gonna slide that off. Okay. Now, let's hold on before I throw this away. Does it say how many cards are in here? It doesn't. It just says full deck of original Oracle cards. All right. Not super helpful, but let's get into it here. So these are the backs. Cardstock is flimsier than I would have thought. Not horrible, but flimsier than I would have thought. So the first one is Fairy Guide, and I believe the idea here is you're supposed to draw your own fairy guide. We'll see about that. It is a little bit dirty here, which I don't love, but I'm being picky. So, you know what, we're gonna dive into the guidebook in a second. I'm just gonna move that to the side, focus on the cards here. So we have number 1, Unity. Now, you know what, these names, you guys, Ecstasis, I'm gonna butcher these. Guardian at the Gate. Key of the Fiery Sword. And I can kind of see a sword in there. Does have borders, but yet I don't hate them like I thought I would. Again, not hating the borders, which is a surprise. Normally it annoys the crap out of me. Here, not so much. So there's certain, I believe these are broken up into different types of fairies. So this is obviously more like a, God, I don't know, elemental energy type, I would say. Like it's not what I would typically picture, like a gnome or fairy with wings, you know, like we have on the front of the book here. It's more just very energy like, see, here we go, soulless sort of energy, but it's turning into that more recognizable form. See, oh, the maiden? Is she not just the cutest thing? See, this is more kind of getting into those, yeah, ideas of, this reminds me of brownies. That's what that reminds me of. Or an imp or something. Okay. Himself. So as you can see, I'll just show you a couple more. Oopsie daisy. There's the different types, right? Oh, God, cute. Look at this little guy's face. So, and then of course we're into different types. So it changes as we go. So I'm curious to see, I've heard, from what I gather, and I don't know, I've never been hugely drawn to this deck until now, for whatever reason, I don't know. I guess now is the time. I was expecting a thicker cardstock, I'm not gonna lie. Definitely not what I was anticipating, but I've heard you either love or you hate this deck when you work with it. And I have to say, I'm very curious. I'm very curious. So let's take a quick peek at the guidebook before we move on. I love that it is nice and hard, like it's a hardcover. Holy, okay. So you get, let's see where this started. Okay. Oh my God. So part 1, Fairies and Oracles. How to make friends, influence angels, and read oracles. So it kind of has a long introduction talking about fairies, how to work with the cards. We have some quotes, ethics, basic card spreads. Jeez. So how many pages? So okay. So we start on page 47. So for the first like 46 pages is just introduction. And that's part 1. Then you're into part 2, which is reading the fairy cards. Getting to know the fairies easy, just listen with the whole self. And then it talks about introducing certain fairies. I think this is where it talks about the different types. Yeah, the 0 card, your guide, talks about that. Okay, and then we're into the types. Okay, here we go. The first, so these elemental type are the singers of the realms by the looks of it. So you get a depiction of the card, you get the card name, you get keywords, and then you get quite a bit of information. Then you get a starter reading, sort of a jumping off point, and then it does talk about reversals, the reverse meaning here. So there's a lot of information. Let's see, it's getting into the other types here. Yeah, same thing. Name, keywords, about the fairy, starter reading, like jumping off points on how to read it, and then the reversals. So you get that for all of the cards, which is a lot. Okay, so, oh my God. Okay, so there's more. We have a part 3, which talks about going deeper with the cards if you want. Meditating, preparing for a reading, grounding, contacting planet Earth, centering, connecting. Wow. Some quotes in here. Reading the oracle for others. Like, you guys, this guidebook, holy shit. Wasn't anticipating for it to be this in-depth. I'm actually curious. This is one of those ones where, yeah, fairy style readings. There's different types of readings. So the fairy style, there's a card spread, a few card spreads back here in the fairy style, fairy counseling. Jesus. Okay, this is going to be one of those books where, like the guidebooks, which I actually probably read cover to cover a few times, if I'm being honest. So this, wow, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. Okay. Not gonna lie, sort of loving it. Next, we have, so this is the one I got the other day. I have already shuffled it. I have already pulled from it. It will not be in order. We have the Oracle of the Seven Energies by Colette Baron Reid. The box is beautiful. Co-create your most beautiful and meaningful manifestations. So it has a fair, pretty good chunky guidebook here as well. It does come with a little ribbon. Oh, life is magical, you are magical. Like I said, I like this box. It is nice and sturdy. It's magnetic closure. And I can knock it. So this is beautiful. You could actually travel with this. I'm keeping this box for sure. So we have, I'll just read you the back here. Oracle of the Seven Energies. The wisdom of the energy of seven can be seen in cultures all over the world, in belief systems throughout history, and in your own life today. Its influence is reflected in the way you think, how you make decisions, what you encounter within yourself, and the conditions of your world. Drawing upon the power of seven, this oracle reveals how we are, as individuals, experience our lives, giving us a framework from which to make empowered choices as we co-create our reality. With guidance from intuitive master and oracle expert Colette Baron Reid, you can now awaken to the power of source within you, becoming a channel for divine abundance and miracles. So, 49 deck of cards here. These are the backings. They are very pretty. Very nice. I do like them. Now, sip of water. I'm not gonna lie to you, I almost did not get this. It was in my Amazon cart. I took it out numerous times. I'd put it in, I'd take it out. I'd put it in, I'd take it out. I'm not a huge Colette Baron Reid fan. I have tried some of her decks. I usually always gift them. The only one I have managed to keep is the Spirit Animal Oracle. It's the only one that I've gotten to work for me. And this one, knock on wood, seems to be working for me so far. So now, story of how this came to be. I went to a local witchy shop, let's just call it, to get some Palo Santo and a candle for a friend of mine who had recently passed away. And of course, I live in Mexico. I'm learning Spanish. My Spanish is not great. I'm working on it. It's so embarrassing. Anyway, I go and here is this. I'm looking at the Oracle cards because they're all in Spanish, except for Oracle of the Seven Energies, which is sitting on the shelf staring at me, the English version. And I was like, what the heck? So of all the, it's like the only friggin' English deck in there too. I was like, okay, clearly this is a message. So I picked it up. And so far, I'm liking it. So quick, like I said, bit of a chunky guidebook here. We have a little bit of an introduction. We have a table of contents, why work with an oracle, themes of the deck, how to read the cards, card spreads, typical stuff, right? Message to you for the cards, message from me to you, so from Colette to us. And then we get into the energies and the cards and their meanings. Okay, so energy 1 is earth energy. Money, family, inherited traits, survival, primitive instincts, security, stability, and the material world. So you'll get the number, the name of the card, keywords, and then a little bit about the cards and its message. All right, so it's like that for all of them. Not a whole lot of information really, but enough that will get you a pretty good meaning of what each card is supposed to be. And you can actually journal and really dive into these cards, which I wasn't expecting. Cardstock is, well, I mean, not super thin, not super thick. Not great for the snapback, but there is a bit there. So it does shuffle beautifully, not gonna lie. This is gonna be such a long video, you guys. I'm so sorry. So I do like the way it shuffles, and just here are some of the images. Like I said, I've used this. They're not in order. So we have Seeing Beyond. This one's beautiful. I also was not going to get it because I figured the artwork was similar to my spell casting oracle cards, which I adore and use all the time. Quieting the Mind, that's pretty as well. But it is slightly different. You know, you have the Rose's Kiss. It's different enough. So I am glad I picked it up. We'll see how it keeps going. Endless Possibilities. Sacred Reverence. Beautiful Caging. Exposed and Revealed, etc., etc. So they are very pretty. They have been reading well for me. I have not used them in client readings yet. I'm still debating if I will or if this is going to be a personal deck. It depends, but so far I like them. So that's where we're at. So thank you for being with me with this tarot, and well, it's not even a tarot, let's be honest, it's an oracle card haul for the last couple days. I really do appreciate you being here. Let me know if you want any full reviews of any of these decks in the description box below. And when I get a chance to work with them more, I will certainly do that for us. So thank you so much again for watching. I really do appreciate it. We'll talk very, very soon. Bye.